Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Fletch Lives. They made a movie called Fletch. It was brilliant, and it was really successful, so they decided to make a second one, a sequel, if you will, where they improved on the first movie and made an even better film called Fletch Lives. That's why I've got that poster there. As you can probably tell, this is a slightly different type of episode today. I am wearing a weighted vest, and I've just been for a long run in it. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I think when you get to 50, you start doing really daft stuff. Condor man. So my producer told me that the new Ghost record, Skeletá, is something to listen to. So I listened to it on my run twice because I was running a bit slower on account of the additional ballast. Badminton, petanque. And so, yes, I'm going to give you my thoughts in this episode, which is kind of like an album review, I guess. Don't do many of those, do I? I'm excited about it. Skeletá by Ghost.
Well, here we are in the familiar surroundings of my YouTube studio. I'm drinking water. That seldom happens, does it? But I really need it today. It was hot out there. My voice has gone all dry. Anyway. I should do the theme tune before I start actually talking about this album. Justin Hawkins rides again. Alright, so this album, Skeletá, I'm going to be sort of referencing it on my phone as I go along. Hopefully my producer will be able to hear enough of it to be able to sort of understand which part of the song I'm referring to. Ghost, here we go. I mean, I saw a lot of... I did a live stream yesterday, and it was in relation to the raffle, which may or may not have finished by now. But I mentioned that I was going to be listening to the album and covering it, and I think more than one person made the same remark, like, isn't Ghost just like Kiss, but for the 2010s or something? Which, sorry, that's a pretty dismissive accent to apply to those comments, but I was wondering, why is that such a bad thing? I mean, if you look at Kiss's oeuvre, you're talking about... first of all, you're talking about one of the bands that really defined what rock iconography can be. I mean, look at the merchandising, the makeup, it's just like, it's a whole universe that they've created there, and it's unbelievable. And there's some really solid rock and roll music amongst, some less brilliant stuff. I mean, obviously, there's peaks and troughs in the quality of their output, but you're talking about 5 decades of brilliance, really. So if Ghost is the next Kiss, then where's the issue? I mean, maybe I was inferring a negativity in those comments, but I just don't see it myself. I think if somebody says, oh, you're like the next AC/DC or whatever, it's like fucking amazing. Cheers. So yeah, I'll just run through a few of the tracks and talk about my highlights. First thing to say about Skeletá is, like, I listened to the record all the way through when I was running, and then Spotify threw up some things that it thought would be like similar in terms of the listening experience and stuff that they thought I would enjoy. But the production of Skeletá it blew everything else away. Like, it sounds unbelievable. Really great drum sounds, great mastering, great mixing. It's awesome. I mean, it's so impressive. And I think when I covered one of Ghost's songs, the first time I covered a Ghost song, I think I was remarking on that. And it's got to the point now where it goes about saying that a Ghost record is going to sound unbelievable. So yeah, it starts off with Peacefield. And it has a lovely kind of Michael Nyman-esque sort of choir boy innocently singing some stuff. I don't know what the lyrics are. Maybe it was saying, pieces of what we could have been, pieces of a shattered dream. Child, take your dark memories like seeds and plant them far from here. Sow them, feed them through rain. Through shine and rain, your love will be born again. Through shine and rain, your love will be born again. Reminds me of my own time in the choir. Sorry. It's really lovely. I think you can hear, I don't know how to describe this really, but I've always thought that Ghost has like some elements of Europe. And I always expect, the band Europe, I mean, as in Rock the Night Europe, Key Marcello and all that stuff, Joey Tempest, the glorious mid-80s Europe. And there's something in the sort of guitar timbre that does that too as well. But it's like in the chord sequences and some of the sort of changes that they make, it goes a little bit ABBA in places. And I always love the way Tobias's voice is kind of like, it's like really almost musical theatre, and it's the enunciation of it, and he projects really well, and it's sort of every word is super clear, but he's saying things like a slaughtered Tsar. It's quite awesome really to have that juxtaposition between like a really sort of pop and theatrical vocal and like really, really dark lyrics. So that's Peacefield, Lacrima, which I don't think is a French expression which talks about something that makes your coffee white. I don't think it's that. I actually covered this one already. It's a great song. Ooh, Satanized is one that I enjoyed on the run. I noticed a couple of swingy numbers on here. I love that when it gets to the chorus. Stuff that's pushed and pulled away from the one makes it less predictable, and there's some great sort of moments of metalisms that you kind of expect, left turns and surprising. I thought maybe they're Led Zepp-isms, I call them, but they don't. Obviously, doesn't sound like Led Zeppelin in this context. This is Guiding Lights.
If I could pause right here.
Exploring a lower part of his range and something that sounds like a slightly foreboding ballad, I suppose.
I would open my heart and tell you with no fear.
And this is the one that sort of made me feel like I was listening to Golden Era, sort of crossover period Black Album Metallica, but with all the usual kind of ghostisms in it. Drum sound is fucking preposterously huge. It's amazing. Here's my producer's favourite, De Profundis Borealis. Oh yeah, so when I was on my run, it gets to a bit where there's kind of like a bridle path bit, and it's a bit softer underfoot. And with the weighted vest, obviously my pace had dropped a little bit, and my cadence and all that. And when this one came on, it took a double time. And I'm not usually fond of that kind of drum pattern outside of, the Motown stuff. I like to steer well clear of it when there's heavy guitars happening, because I just think it's I don't think it grooves like a. I think it's like. It's too playful for my liking. But when I got to the bridle path, I found that it allowed me to sort of get. It's a bit softer underfoot, and you're trudging a little bit there anyway. But it really inspired me to carry on and do a slightly below average time for me anyway on that part of the run, which they've found a way to utilise the double time drum beat in rock that actually inspires me to run a little bit faster. So that is an achievement in itself. And here's one that I found really enjoyable on the first listen. This is Cenotaph. I mean, there aren't that many drums around that can just hit a hi-hat in that way and make it groove and swing. and you know it's going to be something. The other thing to say about this record is if you're fond of dive bombs, as I am, there's so many of them, and there's some that kind of come gliding up from underneath the note they're aiming for. It's a dive bombing upwards. I didn't even know that was possible. I did, but it's cool to hear it. The other thing about running is like if you're running to something that has like a tempo that's conducive to the run, you've got to make sure in a drum beat like this, like check this out. At the top of the mountain. You've got to make sure that your right foot hits the ground when that kick drum happens. Otherwise, you're playing a left-handed kit. Unless you're left-handed, in which case, make sure your left foot hits the ground on that kick drum. Right there where it tips and connects with the night sky. And this is the one, I think one of the reasons why I liked it is because when that synthesizer part happened at the beginning, I was thinking, oh my God, are we getting into sort of Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, or the one they did for Sport Aid, Everybody Wants to Run the World, when they just changed one word in the studio probably. And then I thought, when it started to kick off, I thought, oh my God, this is kind of reminding me of the Airwolf theme tune. Reach it with me. And that's a good thing. The main character from Airwolf, of course, was Stringfellow Hawk. So yeah, I can relate to the character Stringfellow Hawk. Great cellist, not a very good rower, but what a pilot. I mean, undeniable. Right there where it dips and connects with the fire, burning with me, the ashes of memories. It's kind of like giving it that proper crooner stuff there. It comes in way faster than you think it's going to. Boof, 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 boof. I love it. It just makes me smile. I don't know why. It's just there's something about that groove that just puts a smile on my face. You can't argue with it. Check this out. Sensations all through the storms, like you used to be. I thought it was A. And it's kind of, I mean, it's swingy, it's swingy, so it's not exactly like it, but it does give me a little bit. It gives "Does Your Mother Know" by ABBA. You know, it's a great riff. I mean, that's so feel good. Yeah, Cenotaph. I think that's probably my favourite one on this record. And then you get into Micilia Amore, and it starts off with like a riff that could be from like a, I don't know, mid-80s Alice Cooper effort, but actually once it kicks off, what the bass is doing pulls it more into Survivor territory, like Burning Heart, or, you know, obviously Eye of the Tiger. Boom, 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 boom. It's just, that kind of stuff is just, this might be the best running album I've heard this year. It's so good. Marks of the Evil One. Umbra. So when this one gets going, there's a cowbell with a sort of really, really saturated, slashy sounding guitar. And it's sort of, I was trying to remember which of the sort of Guns N' Roses songs it particularly reminded me of in terms of the arrangement. There's no similarity in the riff or in the melody or anything, but it does sound a little bit like You Could Be Mine from the Terminator 2 soundtrack, I think. It's just got a bit of that vibe to it.
It is the end
Excelsis.
of your penitence.
Oh yeah. So this is in Excelsis. I remember because I was running through what they call a Vita parkour. So there's a lot of little exercise areas. I think I went past the hoops that you're supposed to do gymnastics on, and I stopped and admired the individuals that were doing exercises there, whilst listening to the guitar solo on this, and I thought it was such a brilliantly played thing. They make you wait until nearly 4 minutes in, and then you get this rhythm pickup, or the neck pickup, Les Pauly sounding solo. All goes a bit sort of dual guitar, Hotel California. I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with all the guitar playing on this. It's kind of melodic, and there's loads of sort of the Eastern modes, and I don't know, there's stuff in there that's just reminds me of like the sort of melodic choices that Brian May was making on songs like Mustafa on the Queen Jazz album, which is my favourite Queen album. Overall, as a listening experience, it's kind of sonically super impressive. Great guitar playing on it, really, really catchy songs that, I don't know, it's like, I would strongly recommend going for a long run, listen to this album twice so you get the full experience that I did on a summer's day as well, so that the darkness of the lyric doesn't fully, I don't know, so that your spirits may remain elevated in spite of the darkness of the lyricisms. There's a lot of stuff in there that's in Latin. I didn't notice that because I was also running with a large dog, and I had to make sure that they didn't, eat other animals, or, make stool in places it's not supposed to. So on the first run around, I was a little bit distracted, but once he calmed down, I really got to love that record. It's great. I think I'll listen to it again on tomorrow's run. Unless you've got any other suggestions, let me know. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these 2 videos. Have a listen to that Ghost album, Skeletá, and tell me what you thought. Personally, I thought it was fucking ace. Really, really impressive. And especially the production and the mixing and the mastering and all that stuff. It's just... that's a really great sounding record. All right, nice one. Well done, Ghost. I'll see you cats on the ice. All right. Again.